Hey, what's up team? It's Sherman here from Geek Psychology. This video is on the hero and the anti-hero within the RPG model that I use. Technically, it's the dominant function and the fourth function, inferior or aspirational, whatever you want to call it. And so this video is going to be a little bit deeper. If you don't really understand the cognitive functions or your function stack, you might want to look that up because it's very important. And then you can come back to this video, all right? So we constantly all struggle with different conflicting parts within ourselves. Part of me wants to do this, part of me wants to do that, right? This is something I'm good at, this is something I'm bad at. Those are conflicting parts. And we feel certain ways about those. And those are represented within us as different kind of archetypes. And so by controlling that, by at least having awareness of it, we're able to give more time and care and build more rapport with those different aspects of ourselves so that they can come out in a healthier way. Instead of just constantly fighting within yourself, you know, you're accepting this part of yourself that you might have struggled with for a long time. And then you're able to just kind of bring it in, protect it a little bit, guard it as it levels up, as it kills boars and stuff like that. And eventually, it can actually join your epic quest, and you can complete its epic quest as well, and unlock this like glorious insight within you and your true purpose. Which is a good thing, right? I think we all want that. So let's talk a little bit about what this is. And starting out, like, basically it's a polar opposite. So for your type, if you're an IFP, the hero is introverted feeling, and then the anti-hero is extroverted thinking. If you're an ETJ, it's the opposite. Extroverted thinking's the hero, and then the anti-hero is introverted feeling. I'm not going to explain necessarily why that is right now fully, but I'll tap on it a little bit. Tap on it? I'll explain it a little bit after I explain this. So, first of all, you have the hero. Let's talk about that for a little bit. The hero is your sense of pride, of strength, of accomplishment. In a lot of ways, it's where you're competent at, and it's like you have a lot of skill in it. You've put a lot of mastery time into it. So for me, as an INFP, it's introverted feeling, and so I am actually really proud of my moral integrity, my ability to sift through how I'm feeling about something and act authentically with that, in accordance to that, and kind of weighing the value of something internally and how that's going to affect other human beings on a deeper level. And so I'm confident in it. Sometimes I mess up, but you know, everybody does. But I'm confident in it. I feel that I have skills and competency, and it's a positive part of myself. And because of that, the inferior function or aspirational function, anti-hero, is going to represent that other side. And so where I was proud of my heroic side, there's this shame in the anti-hero. There's embarrassment. There's idealization, and just you wish that you could do what that function really represents at its highest level. And through actually finding a way to complete that, you feel that you will be whole. You will be a better, stronger person. And the thing about this, though, is that it's also positive. Functions 1 through 4 in your cognitive function stack are all positive. They might not feel that way all the time, but they are. And they're all trying to help you be a better person. Whereas the shadow functions kind of have a defensive and chaotic alignment that cause a lot of problems. But so the anti-hero is still positive, but it's vulnerable. It's not confident. It's just kind of like I don't know, maybe like Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, he does things in a little different way than the rest of the crew. And he could be a little moody, defensive sometimes. And it's just like, you know, he's in the party, in the group, but he's got his own style that sometimes causes problems. And because it represents your shame and your embarrassment in a lot of ways, it also holds kind of the key to your higher goals. That is like the really positive aspect of it. And if you are to understand it and complete its quest, then you're going to be able to be a better, stronger person and help more people and all that stuff. And the problem is, though, is that it kind of lacks the abilities, skills, and tools to accomplish those goals. And so you just ignore it and you think of it as a different part of yourself that's not in alignment with your hero. And so it's like the yin yang. Okay, so you have one side that's white, one side that's black. You know what a yin yang looks like. And it's got the spot in the other of the other. So the black side has the white spot. And that just means that it's all working together and they're part of each other, right? And so for the IFPs and the ETJs, you have two sides, right? One side is very sure of their emotions, the FI side, very sure of the emotions and the human component, really thinking how this affects somebody in a moral integrity type style, right? And then you have TE, which is logically assessing how things work in the culture, in the world around you, in the environment. It understands how things are going to work and how to go from point A to point B or point A to point C and hit all the necessary steps in the middle and make sure that you're efficiently using your resources. So how I see it as an INFP is through understanding really like how I work and how my emotions are kind of blueprinted and structured and all that stuff, then I'm able to create, eventually, through enough skill, I'm able to create an organization that will embody that and be able to logically express that to other people. And it's a constant struggle because it is the antihero, but that is where the goal is. And for like an ETJ, ESTJ or something like that, they're going to struggle with the vulnerability of their emotions, of opening up and kind of reaching into their heart and really understanding how they feel about different things, right? But by really understanding how things work, then they're able to create a structure that lets people live authentically. And I think this FI and TE, I think, is the most difficult one to explain, at least from my side, which is really strange. But it could be part of that inability or shame in my lack of being able to logically express the things that I spent so much time thinking about. From there, the TI and FE kind of yin-yang between the hero and the anti-hero is you have TI, which is impersonal understanding of how things work logically, technically, by defining and categorizing and all that stuff. Really just knowing how things work based on your own personal experiences. And then you have the FE side, which is relating to other people, harmonizing, expressing your emotions, understanding how they feel based on looking at them in their situation and being able to help them feel better and get them working better together, hugging out. ITPs are going to struggle more with expressing those emotions and meeting other people's emotional needs as well. It's not always about emotions, but just seeing how people are interacting and fully being able to bridge those gaps between yourself and them and other people and things like that. And so it's going to be a little difficult for them. And for the EFJs, it's going to be easy for them as their hero side, their pride, their sense of strength and accomplishment, to positively relate to other people, to just walk up to somebody and have a conversation and not worry about it, right? And kind of feel it out in the moment. And it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to detach from that emotional side and just think with their head logically and defining all these things and not thinking about how that impacts other people. So separating it. And together, though, if you have clearly defined information and then everybody understands that, if that is understood, then people will work better together because they'll be able to talk about it clearly without having conflicting ideas about it. And if people are working very well together, then they'll be able to understand those ideas. So you see how it just goes back and forth. It goes around and around like a carousel. And so for SI and NE, if you have an ISJ, they're the heroic introverted sensors. They're like the guardian style, right? And they're very good at understanding the differences by comparing and contrasting what is happening now with what has happened in the past, and using the past, the lessons from the past, to support the present moment and kind of thinking about how those things can be used to make a stable future as well. And so they're going to struggle with the opposite side of that, which is NE. NE is about inferring different possibilities and kind of letting loose from the past and exploring different ideas, brainstorming creatively, and shaking things up a little bit to make things not the same as they were in the past. And so that's going to be where the antihero comes out. And the antihero is going to be like, hey, let's do this. Let's just shoot some flaming bullets into a pool of oil and see what happens, because that's fine. We'll work it out. And SI doesn't want to do that. Not at all. And so the struggle of the ISJs and the ENPs is this balance of understanding and using the lessons from the past and kind of enabling change in the future. They're going to constantly battle back and forth of like who is going to take direction of the party's goals. And usually it's the hero that wins out, right? So with the hero winning, the anti-hero is going to kind of get moody and cause these problems. And, that's why we need awareness of it and the ability to just kind of embrace it and nurture it and level it up. And then NISE, the INJs, are going to be really good, have a lot of pride and confidence in detaching from the present intentionally, like willfully, and kind of digging into their unconscious and seeing where things are going, kind of the scape of time and relying on archetypes and symbols and things like that to really understand the deeper meaning of things. And because of that, the anti-hero comes out as this gladiator, berserker style, extroverted sensing that's just like, I want to jump in. I want to get my hands on the thing. I want to experience life as it is with my five senses and not worry about all that crap. Because now is what matters. And so you can see how that's going to cause some problems, right? And then SENI, so the ESPs, are going to be very good at just kind of going with the flow, being the flowing adventurer, right? And letting things happen how they're going to happen and just kind of riding that wave and not putting too deep of a meaning onto things. But the anti-hero side always wants that. There's going to be this constant aspiration to see the meaning behind everything. And so you have the two sides of kind of filling in the gaps of what will happen with this unlimited human potential based in archetypes and the human race, like the DNA of our mind, and then extroverted sensing, which is just being free and enjoying life, the present moment. And so they're kind of working back and forth together, just kind of sloshing around. There's a little bit of both in each. And the goal is to get those to work together. And so there are 3 questions that I want you to think about, and we can talk about a little bit in the comments. So number 1, what is your shame and embarrassment? I don't necessarily need to know like specific examples, but I am curious. Yeah, I do want to know. But like that side of yourself that you're kind of ashamed of, you're a little embarrassed about, that's where the antihero exists, right? And so he's like holding the gem of embarrassment and shame, and you know, you want that to work with you and not against you. You don't want him like flaunting it all the time, or her. Question number 2, what is the true goal, the true purpose of your antihero? I really do want to make some sort of organization or company that is going to be able to influence people's emotions and help them feel at a deeper level. And so by enabling my antihero, giving him some more skills, giving him more awareness, working with him instead of fighting him, I will be able to eventually create a bigger structure, a stronger YouTube channel or something like that, that is able to share that message more efficiently, more logically. And so that's my personal example. And also number 3, who do you know that is very good at your antihero style? So I have some ESTJ friends, I have an ENTJ friend. They're very good at what I am ashamed about, about being bad at. So I can look to them and see how they're doing things and model that. And by doing that, I'm able to kind of jump into their shoes a little bit and try it on a little bit. And that's going to give me a lot more strength within my antihero style. And so that's what I want you to do as well. If you're an ESFP, I want you to look into the INJs and really see how they're approaching reality. And through doing that and actually listening to them and letting them do their thing and kind of fully embracing it, then you're going to gain some more skills within your antihero. You're going to unlock some abilities, and it's going to be good for you. Stop trying to fight it. Just embrace it. He's on your team. You might as well just embrace it instead of trying to kick him out and then run in a raid or something like that with only 3 people. All right. So anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope it was helpful. Please let me know down below in the comments anything that you can about this, because I think it's very important for all of us to figure out how these archetypes are working a little bit more and share that information with other people so that we can all be better better people and make this world a better place. All right, so keep up the lifelong questing. Good luck, have fun. Peace. For real?